Hey guys, welcome to the Mepro Workshop. I'm Jordan, this is Eric, and today we're talking about MPO Fs. But before we dive into that, I need you to do me a favor. There's a little subscribe button right below there. I want you to click that, and right beside it there's a little bell button. Hit that for me too. When you do that, a kitten gets its wings. So we need some flying kittens.
Say a kitten gets its wings?
A kitten gets its wings, yes.
That's how we're going to start this.
That's how we're starting this.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need flying cats, right? But let's talk about the MPO Fs, right? And these are our brand new pistol optics. And so brand new optics, brand new name. Walk me through the naming system.
Yes, name is pretty simple, Mepro Pistol Optics. You need something that is clear, concise, and speaks to the end user. So no one wants to look at something and be like, what am I reading here? What are we talking about? So MPOs, so Mepro Pistol Optics. Fs, because these are our full-size versions. Obviously, we've done another video on the Slims. Launched them at SHOT 24, and these are all shipping as we do this video, so it's super exciting.
Excellent. So again, I can foresee the comments. I have that superpower. What is the footprint for this optic?
So we decided to go with the RMR footprint. There's quite a few footprints out there. We're kind of getting into the part of the industry where people are used to talk about key mod and M-lock. We went from 5 to 6 footprints down to 2. So there's no surprise. It's either RMR or Delta Point Pro. It just depends on kind of what you want to model after. And we went with the RMR. We just found it a little bit closer on the professional side of what we're being used to with our brand coming from Israel, things of that nature. And talking to a lot of manufacturers within the industry, just seemed the more natural footprint to go with.
So one of the most important aspects of the red dot is the actual dot. And we have 3 different pistols here, and they all have different sighting options. So walk me through the different reticle options as well as the brightness settings that we have as well.
Yeah, so across the board, we're looking at 12 settings total, 10-day, 2-night for night vision. And then on our DF, which is MPO, Mepro Pistol Optic, dot for D, and then F for full size, it's a 3 MOA red dot only. And then when we step up to the F and the Pro-F, some of the added features that you get is a user-selectable reticle. So we have 3 segmented reticles, what we call it. You're able to run a dot only, a 3 MOA dot, or a 33 MOA outer ring. And then, or you can combine them to have a 3 MOA dot with a 33 MOA outer ring bullseye look. So especially guys that want to run the RMR footprint on other platforms, such as behind us we got the Benelli M4, MP5 in the corner, running it as an offset red dot on a DMR. Really opens up your options. We just took, I used a MPO F last week turkey hunting, and really preferred the just outer ring for that turkey optic.
All right, so we have a few buttons and switches and trays. Walk me through what all this does.
Yeah, so we'll start with the DF. So all 3 batteries are running a 1632 battery, looking at 20,000 hours of battery life. We'll get into battery life. We say it in pretty much every video that we will have a video on battery management. So over here on the DF, it is a pull-out tray. Located on the right side of the optic. And then when we talk about the F and the Pro-F, we do have a battery door that is a flathead. So inside your box, which we're going to go over a box here soon, you have the Mepro tool that has a T10 as well as a flathead. So that way you can run your elevation and windage adjustment screws and under your battery tray, swap your battery out, install your battery, whatever you may need to do.
Excellent. So you've got your Mepro pistol optic, and we try to provide a lot of value with this. And I think besides some of the things that we include in the box, the most valuable thing that we have is the manual.
It is very important to read the manual. Some military circles, it's RFTM. If you don't know what it is, you can go Google it. But the manual is important. So pistol optics wise, why is it important to you? Well, you're attaching it to a firearm platform. So you need to understand what screw thread pitch that you need for the firearm you're using. So where in the case of the RMSC platform, it's typically an M4 or a 6x32. When we step into the full-size pistols, there is a myriad. You got 632, you got 640, you got different lengths. You have M4, you have M3s, and there's probably 3 or 4 more thread pitches that we didn't even cover.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's complicated, but if you got any questions, we got you. Just leave a comment below, and we'll get back with you on that. So all of our optics are durable and they're tough, and you can beat the snot out of them, and they'll keep chugging. But what about our warranty?
So we did launch at SHOT Show as well the Mepro Guard. So it is a lifetime warranty now that we are providing. It is limited. There are some stipulations. You can't go out and run it over with a tank. You can't beat it with a baseball bat, throw it off your roof, and say, oh, you know, and abuse it. Things like that won't be covered. But honestly, we just put a name to what we were already doing for years. So it's 4 years on the electronics, lifetime on all of these feature black anodized aluminum housings. So your housings, things of that nature are going to be warranted for life. So if you ever have a problem with the Mepro product, just give us a call, reach out on the support page, whatever is easiest for you, and we'll get you taken care of.
And we actually have a page where you can register your products as well. I'll have a link in the description. So go ahead and just register your products. That just makes it a little easier on us. So, Eric, we got a lot of nice guns here. We got Glocks. We got a homemade, a home-built gun. Where should we be using these optics?
You got to understand where you're at. If you're a recreation shooter, are you looking for something that's economical? Are you a professional shooter or a professional user or law enforcement? It might help you tailor what you're looking for or what direction you go in. So the DF, obviously it comes in at the lowest price point. Doesn't mean that it's not feature rich. We're big fans of just keeping it simple, and that's what this does for you. So I know yourself, you prefer a dot only. You might gravitate to the DF simply because it is a dot. All three have automatic and manual brightness control settings. So on the DF, we've got the sensor sitting behind, well, it's actually right in front of the LED. On the F and Pro-F, the sensors are in the front left-hand corner. So if a user wants to run it in automatic brightness and allow the environmentals and the sensor to do its job and select that for you, you can do that. If you prefer to have a manual brightness control, then you can press the up button for 5 to 8 seconds on the F and Pro-F, and then it'll toggle from auto brightness to manual brightness. So with that in mind, if you are a professional user, you might gravitate to the Pro-F. Why? Because it's an enclosed system. What does an enclosed system mean or do for you? It keeps things out of the emitter. So you can see in the DF, the F, go pick anybody else's open emitters. It is exactly how it sounds. The emitter is open, and it's open to debris, it's open to rain, it's open to blood, it's open to sweat, it's open to all these things that can contaminate the LED, which can distort your what you're viewing in your reticle. With an enclosed system, you have a glass in the front and in the rear, similar to maybe a magnified optic or other optics that you're used to, and the emitter is completely sealed. So we have a Masada that we have fired 5,000 straight rounds through. The glass in front is completely carboned up. You literally thumb it away, and then you're still shooting because there's nothing interfering with the LED emitter.
And these pistols are not just, or these optics are not just for pistols, right? They're very at home on a DMR setup, or if you're running a sub gun or PCC. You can even use them on turkey guns.
You can. It's probably a good video for another time as well as we get into other uses. People are creatures of habit. Yeah. So if you're using them on one, it's why I prefer to run a bullseye. I know you prefer a dot. Mm-hmm. I prefer to run a bullseye because I run a bullseye on my rifles as well. Mm-hmm. So it kind of gives you the same look and feel. But again, you can have your same carry optic that is on your Glock or SIG or whatever you're using, and then turn around and have that same optic on your turkey shotgun. We got some behind us in a DMR configuration, running magnified optic with an offset red dot, whether it's on top or 45, whatever kind of floats your boat there. Yeah. You have the ability to do so. And then guns and rifles and PCCs are just continuously getting smaller with smaller rail space. Yeah. So again, behind us, and probably pull them out later, we have an MP5 set up with a riser, so that way your height over bore is appropriate to your cheek weld, and we're running a Pro-F on that. So there is a myriad of uses, whatever your kind of heart desires. And going back to the features you get for the cost, it allows you to purchase maybe one of a competitor's product at a certain feature set but get the same or more features at half the cost.
Yeah.
So you can buy 2 or 3 of ours compared to some others.
Yeah. Guys, if you have any video ideas of what you would like us to do in the future, give me a comment and let me know, and we might make it happen. So we've talked about the different features of each, and let's say you have your Mepro pistol optic. Let's go over what's in the box and then how to put the baby on there. So obviously we have the manual, we have a cloth, we have our multi-tool with the optic.
Here's one that's not in the box.
Yep. With screws and the battery. So we try to include everything you need and more of what you need to run. So show me how to put it on.
Yeah. So for us here, it's much easier. We've been using fixing sticks for years. I've been using fixing sticks for years. In my shop at home, I pretty much replaced most of my tools with just a very good
Not
fix-it.
sponsored, by the way.
No.
But if they want to.
Yeah, no, not sponsored, no free gear, nothing like that. Just, again, I like to keep things simple. I like to keep things consistent, and these things haven't really failed me. So will you brick tools? Absolutely. Just kind of the nature of what we do. So we're going to remove this MPO F. Let's get this DF out of the way so that way everyone can kind of see what we're doing here. So another, as we get into the installation process here, yes, we provide screws, the most common screws that you guys will need at home, but every firearm platform is different. So we have Glock 47s here.
Yep.
Yep, we're running Glock 47s. And it's an MOS, obviously, so we're using the number 2 plate for RMR. So you'll have to mount the plate into the pistols. I know that you personally use Shadow Systems, and there is no mounting plate. It's just cut for an RMR. So understanding kind of what you have and where you're going. If you have a slide that is not milled, and you're going to buy one of our optics, make sure you have it milled at RMR. And then kind of just a keynote on that. If you have the optic and send it out to your gunsmith with your slide, they typically can precision cut it for your optic. So there are always manufacturing tolerances built into everything that is machined. So it's always just a good kind of idea if you are going to have your slide milled, have the optic first, send them both together, so that way you make sure everything's cut appropriately. So we already have our Glock plate installed here. We talked about our RMSCs on the Glock 43s, 43Xs, 48s, things of that nature. Again, you've got to make sure that you have enough screw engagement, but you're not too long. So if your firearm platform has a safety plunger, spring, whatever the case may be, like the Glocks do, you can't go too far. You start impeding with the operation of the handgun. So another thing to note too is I see it online actually quite often with competitor stuff, is that not everything is just plug and play. So there are times where you get pistol iron sights and you put them on. You might need a nip and tuck or take a little file. Dovetail cuts aren't the same. Front holes aren't the same. Sometimes self-illuminate sights come oversized, so that way you've got to make your own cuts. So I say that because on a Glock system specifically, you have about 2 millimeters of space here for the mounting plate. And then we've got our screws, and we did our best job to give you the appropriate screw length that you need. However, on this one, when we were setting this up, you will see as you tighten it down, it pulled it up just a hair. So typically what I do is I will mount my optic to the plate and then ensure that it sits flush on the bottom. If it doesn't, you can take a file, a sander, a Dremel, whatever the case is, and make sure that it fits flush, so that way when you put it on your firearm, it sits flush in line with the bore, and then it's not pushed up. You can have zeroing issues, operational issues, all types of issues. So I know it was a little long-winded, but just learn from my mistakes.
We went there so you don't have to.
Yep.
And again, if you have any questions or any other facts that you'd like to add about zeroing an optic or tips for others to have, leave them below in the comments.
So we got it hand tight, and then I'm going to use my 15 inch-pounds torque tool from Fixing Sticks. It's in the manual. Whether you're doing a Pro-F, F, or DF, it's 15 inch-pounds for the plate down. And then on the Pro-F, it's a cross bolt system. So we have a screw right here. This cross bolt is also a T10 at 15 inch-pounds. So all of our screws come with Loctite tape. You'll see that blue tape on there. They're fantastic. It holds well. I'm kind of a 2 is 1, 1 is none type guy. So I will take just a dab. So again, Do not fill the hole with Loctite and then decide to screw it in. Yes, it will hold it so tight that your gun may not fire. So I literally run the threads through, hold it upside down, put not even a full drop on there, and then run them in. So
and you definitely want to let it set for at least 3 hours.
Yeah, at least. If you can set it overnight, even better. 3 hours minimum, though. And you're not using permanent Loctite or anything like that. We can put in the comments our recommendation for Loctite if we need to. But that's it. So then we've got our, we talked about the battery tray. It is important to note, it is on the battery tray as well, that the positive side goes down. There's actually 2 little pluses on the battery tray itself. And then we've got the flat head, so you can do your elevation, both your elevation and your windage adjustment.
Yep. Excellent. You know, I've been fortunate enough to put a good amount of rounds through these optics, and I was very impressed with the clarity of the glass and the different reticle options. Again, I just like a simple dot. You know, keep it simple, but I like to have the other options as well. So, you know, on the range, it was very good. I'm very impressed with it. So, and I have shot a lot of the competition as well. So.
Yeah, they've been. So we're using spherical lenses on the F series. It is super clear, super robust, and the versatility, again, is just fantastic. So I use the 33 MOA outer ring on the turkey gun. Typically use bullseyes on everything else. And we have some guns that have 12, 14,000 rounds through a single Pro-F with no failure. So they've been rock solid.
Absolutely. Well, guys, if you want to learn more about our products, you can visit our website at meprolight.com. Again, if you got any questions, drop a comment below. If you have video ideas, let us know. And connect with us, guys. Hit that subscribe button, notifications, and thanks for watching.